Hello my friends, welcome back to the northwest of England and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam and on this channel we just mess about with beads and wire. Now I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago we made the squiggle bangle. Can you remember doing this one? Well, I've had quite a few people asking me throughout some of my videos. I've been wearing the ring version, so I've come up with a little video for you and we'll have a look how to make the little ring version of the squiggle bangle. Exactly the same principle, just in ring form. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look at how to make these. Okay friends, let's have a look. So you can make them in the silver, which is quite nice. You can obviously make them in copper, you can put a patina on them, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to let you know the measurements that will take you up to about a size X in UK. I've got quite big fingers. And in order to put one on my middle finger, it's a good sort of W or an X size. I have big hands, so if you have smaller hands, then just reduce the sizes of what I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to make these out of 18 gauge wire, so you need to just grab. I'm going to make it in copper today, but like I say, you can make it in all sorts. You can make it in this lovely rose gold tone, which I'm going to be making a few of those for friends, etc. So dead quick, super easy. Take your wire. You're going to need around about 12 inches, 30 centimeters of wire to make a decent size ring. But like I say, reduce the sizes, reduce the lengths, that kind of thing, for smaller versions. So I'll just whip through this. If you want to know how to make this bangle here, I'll leave a link up here somewhere to the original video. Right, so I'm going to take my square nose pliers, flat nose pliers, and mine are a 4mm tip. All right, so if you really want to do this and you don't have these pliers, then literally just mark your chain nose, place a mark on, and just use that consistently to make these angles. So leave a little bit at the end, and then you're just going to be making a sort of square squiggle, if you will. So you bring your pliers right down to the end, the tips, and you just keep bending your wire around. I'm hoping this is what's the word I'm looking for? Focusing. That's quite an ironic thing, isn't it? Because I can't focus this morning. So just keep bending around like this. So I'll find out in editing whether this is focusing correctly or not, because I've tried to get close so you can see what I'm doing, but quite often my camera won't focus. But anyway, so we'll just keep going around like this. Bend, and then bend, and then bend. So I'll come back when we are right at the end of the wire. Right, we're back. So this is what you should have, and if you're making a similar size to me, 6.5 inches, something like that. All right, so what we want to do now is to come in with our round nose pliers and basically pop your pliers in to each of these little nooks and draw them together. So you pop the pliers in and then literally just draw everything together, and that's what makes a lovely squiggle. There are various ways you can do this. You can get your straight piece of wire and just rotate your plier and make the squiggle that way. Entirely up to you. There are various ways of making squiggles. Nothing new to the internet, nothing new to jewellery makers, but this is just how I do my version. So let me know in the comments if you do a similar version, and we'll all share the joy of making beautiful things. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. All it is, it's just about, my channel logo is let your hobbies heal you, and I'm a big fan of just sitting down and making something. It doesn't have to be jewellery. I also do knitting and crochet and sewing and all sorts of things, but my hobbies have definitely healed me. So let me know in the comments if they've healed you as well. I think it's very, very powerful, is crafting. Very powerful indeed. Right, so we are at this level here where we have brought in our squiggles. Yeah. So this is what it should look like. Now there's room for maneuver with this, all right? So you can bring these squiggles in closer or you can make them further apart. So this is almost an adjustable ring, if you will. So if you make it around your mandrel and you find it slightly too small, all you have to do is just separate the squiggles a little bit. Now I wouldn't hammer it at this particular stage like you possibly would with the bangle, because we're going to be putting it around the mandrel, and you don't want to hammer it twice really, because in my experience it can make the metal a little brittle, yeah, and you don't really want to be doing that. So what we want to do is to make a little loop on either side, as you can see here, little loop on either side. You see that? So we want to cut around about here on one side, and then just come in with your round nose and just make a little loop like that. There we go. And then just give that a squash, because we're going to be wire wrapping inside that, so make sure you've got enough space. And then the next thing we want to do is to bend it around the mandrel. Now this is why we don't hammer it a couple of times, because obviously, like I say, it gets a bit brittle. So very, very carefully. You're going to have a little bit of waste if you're making, you know, a larger ring. So as you can see here, I'm bending it around the T&1/2 U. Excuse me. So what we want to do is to bring it together and see where this little loop fits in. Can you see how it's just fitting inside that little gap there? So what we want to do is to make a little loop like this one around about, let me just see if I can point to it, around about here. So we want to have this loop around about here. So again, all we do is chop that little bit off. Can you see? You only get a little bit of waste, but don't forget I've given you the measurements for a larger ring, so you can just work this out for yourself. And then just make a loop on the other side, like that. Oh, I'll just bring that down a little bit. So this is what we have. Now I have made these into earrings actually with 0.8 wire, and then just put a little, you know, a little ear hook on it. Let's continue with the ring version. So we want to bend it around the mandrel, and as you can see here, it meets somewhat in the middle. Now this is where I'm going to come in with my hammer and just give it a very gentle tap. You see how that fits in? Just a very gentle tap. So there we go, that's given it a little bit of stability. And there we have it. Right, so the next thing we want to do is to bring in some 0.4 26 gauge wire. Now, you know, there are various ways that you could do this. If you wanted to use a thicker wire, that's absolutely fine, and then not join it at the back. I've joined mine at the back because comfortable for me. It's up to you. Don't forget, these are just ideas. But what you want to do is just slightly flatten these two ends by bending them downwards a little bit, so that when they meet nice and flat and flush with each other. Can you see that? So I'm just going to bring in some wire. Now this is my 0.4. I'm just going to chop a little bit off, and what you want to do is to join this little loop to here. So however you decide to do that is entirely up to you. And then just take another piece of wire and do the same on the other side. So again, you know, it's entirely up to you how you do this. This is how I'm doing it. And trust me, I've been wearing these for a while and they're super, super comfortable. And we're back, and as you can see here, we have wire wrapped to the back of it. Now that's really smooth inside, as long as you burnish your, you know, the little wires to make sure that everything's nice and comfortable. I mean, if you wanted to leave it like that, perfect, yes. But let's put some little beads on. Now the beads that I've used here are little 3x2 rondelles. Now these ones I got from the Check Beads exclusive, the most recent bead subscription box, and I'll leave a link, an affiliate link down in the description for that. These are little 3mm faux turquoise, and these are 3x2 sparkles. Aren't they pretty? So you can use whatever you like, as long as they're sort of around 3mm, something like that. So let's choose some beads, shall we? Let's have a look at what we've got. Where did I put my little beads? There we go. We're back. Sorry about that. I could not find my little beads, so I'm going to be using little 3mm faux pearls for this one. So what we want to do is get a length of our 0.4mm wire. Now I have people asking me where I get my wire from. www.wires.co.uk. Brilliant company, really good quality wires. So you're going to want, you know, I don't know, what's that, 20 centimeters, something like that, 25, you know, enough. So what I've done on mine is I have taken 4 at the bottom, 3 at the top. So you need to find the center. So look at where you've wrapped and then move upwards, give or take. So there's my center. So 1 here, 1 here, so start here. Okay, you need to pull these little guys outwards a little bit, and you can do. So again, I'm just going to try and do this with my rubbish eyesight. So I'm going to make 4 wraps around this, around this first section here at the bottom of the squiggle. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. You hear my dog snoring? There we go. And then 1 more, and then 4. Okay, so that's anchored the first section. So we bring this up. Now the way I wrap mine, you can do it crossways if you want, but I quite like to see, can you see here where the wire has gone across and up like a zigzag? Yeah, it sort of follows the form of the design of the ring or the bracelet. So let's put a bead on, a little bead, and then place it in the little loop of the squiggle. And then you want to wrap around this part here. You see that? So again, we want 4 wraps. So we want to go, oops, in that way, Sammy, and through. Oops, that always happens. So that's 1. And then do it quite tightly through. 2, and each time, you know, tighten things up a little bit, nice and tightly, nice and neatly, and then through. There we go. 3. And then 1 more is 4. Again, just squish it all up. And then what I'm going to do is just pull that down a little bit so that everything's nice and happy. And then across, can you see, for the next one? So we want to put another little bead on. Where are you? Little bead. There we go. And then in that one there, can you see? And then we want to wrap around this section here. So that's all you do basically. Just keep going around. Pull it nice and tight. So try and do it on the diagonal if you can. I think it just looks, it looks quite pretty. There you go. So you just need to just pull the little section open a little bit, then that's absolutely fine. Squeeze that, and one more. I've done 4 wraps in between each one, just because I think it looks nice. So can you see? So then, you know, we just want to put another one in this next section. I'll just do this one, and then we'll come back and finish the ring off. Super simple. You see? So again, just wrap around 4 times. You see that? Just diagonally there. That's 1, 2. That's number 3. And then number 4. Okay, so keep doing that until you've got, I mean, for me, I've liked 4 on the bottom, and then as it's coming up your finger, 3, 4 and 3, 4 and 3, but you can do whatever you like. I just think that when you are wearing rings, if you have too much bulk on ones, you know, on either side where your fingers meet, then obviously it can be uncomfortable, but I've found that is a nice comfort level for me. Okay, so we'll meet back at the end, and then we'll reshape the ring, and then we'll make loads of them. So I'll see you in a few. And we're back, and here we have our little ring. Isn't that cute? Yes. So what we need to do now, just basically, is to finish it off. So we've done our wraps. All you need to do is just to come in and make sure that these are all nice and burnished. Yeah, so you know, to burnish them you just squeeze and twist just to make sure that there's, you know, no sharp edges. Do the same with the other one. There we go, just snip that off it goes, and then just make sure that everyone's nice and happy and there's no sharp edges. So inevitably you're going to end up with a little bit of a rugby ball shape, a little bit. So all you need to do is come back, pop it on the mandrel, reshape it a little. Yeah, and there we go. I'm still at the same size. Now a little tip for you here before I let you go, that if you have made your ring and you're happy with it, but you've discovered that it is slightly too big or slightly too small, as it happens that one's perfect, all you have to do basically is, if you want to make it slightly bigger, is to move these squiggles out a little bit, just by doing this and just by doing this ever so slightly on either side, and that will increase the size of your ring. That's too big for me now, obviously. If you want to make it smaller again, just literally close these little loops together, which will reduce the size. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you hammer this too much, because, you know, it is copper at the end of the day, and you don't want to, you know, make it too brittle. But there is a little bit of room for manoeuvre, you know, when you have made your rings. All right, so like I've said in the title, make one and I guarantee you'll make lots. Have fun making them. Let me know in the comments how you get on. Have a lovely, lovely week.